In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about being prepared for the times ahead. The previous video about having a positive mindset and not giving into things that are negative and pulling you down is, of course, a big part of this preparation and is going to be a really valuable skill to have in the times ahead. You know, we are going through the big reset, or actually the great reset. Not just big, but great. And on top of that, there are going to be other happenings that are going to force people to talk about certain things that are maybe scary to them. They're going to be a little negative. It's going to be very important to be able to control yourself. Control what you give into, what you choose to think about. Be able to stay positive and happy. Focus on the beautiful things in life. Besides this mindset, we're going to talk a little bit about other essential things that is going to help you be prepared. So, let's say, hypothetically, that you now suddenly were left without electricity. Do you know what that would mean? It definitely might mean that you don't have a heating source. Do you know what to do about that? Are you prepared? Maybe you are fortunate and you have a wood stove, but do you have firewood? Maybe you don't have a wood stove. Do you have any other way of heating your room, at least, if you suddenly were without electricity? You could get a gas stove and gas bottles. If you don't have that, and you don't have a wood stove, then you might need to consider getting one. You know, it really is your responsibility to be prepared, and no one is really going to do that for you. You might really consider finding a solution to the heating problem. Now, the same thing can be said about lights. What are you going to do if there suddenly isn't any electricity? Do you have enough candles? How long are they going to last? Do you have enough candles? Do you have enough lighters or matchsticks to light the candles? Now, what about food and drinking water? Essentially, what I'm saying here is that it is your responsibility, and if suddenly there should be an emergency, you really can't blame anyone. You know, it is your responsibility. Do you have enough food for a month or longer? I'm not saying that you need for 3-4 months. Personally, I would like to have that much. Absolutely. What about water? Do you have that? What if you had water and you ran out of water? What would you do then? You might think that you can just ask your neighbors, but that is really not the case in all type of scenarios. I'm not saying that you should learn to make your own water filter, learn to make your own activated charcoal, and how to put together a filter, and how to get water out of the ground, and then filter it and drink it. But it's a nice skill to have, of course. And if you suddenly are in a situation where you need that skill, but you don't have it, then that's your fault. So what are you going to do about this? You might have to consider a few things. Now, what if suddenly the mini banks aren't working? Or even worse, they are working, but the money is worthless. What do you do then? Then you better hope that you have some food, at least. And possibly some silver, maybe even some gold. You know, it is the great reset. Banks might be collapsing, things might get really ugly, for a lot of people at least. And are you prepared? What if suddenly the dollar is worthless? Do you have some silver? Do you have food? Do you know that you will be able to handle that type of situation without causing yourself a lot of stress and negativity? You know, that can suddenly take you down. And you want to make sure that that doesn't happen. Be prepared. Maybe go and research it a little bit. Consider getting some silver. Maybe. I'm not saying you should. But I am saying that I have some silver. And I have a lot of food. And I really think that I have the knowledge that I need to be able to handle that type of a situation very well. Do you have a knowing that you will be fine? Now, if you have benefited from this video, kindly consider becoming a supporter. Abundance, health and prosperity to you. Thank you so much.